Hi guys, I'm so excited for today's video. This is like the first real video that I've sat down to film since I had COVID. So that was a thing. It wasn't fun, but I'm somewhat back to normal and I'm ready to start filming again. Even though I'm gonna get into that later, but today we're gonna be trying out the new collection from Odens, and I'm so excited to have these two palettes in my hands. I was set these in PR. If I wasn't sick, I would have done more with these, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one look with each palette and then I'm gonna do a look on camera combining the two. I've already filmed the other two looks. I'll show you those at the end of the video, but these are so beautiful. Like when I first got this package and these hadn't been revealed yet and I opened it and I looked at them, I was like, wow, you know what? These are probably the most unique and best looking holiday release that I have ever seen because these are so well done. These are two beautiful palettes. I'll show you some close-ups. The first one here is the Christmas Eve palette. I love the combination of the sort of cool tones with the grunginess and the yellows and the shimmers, and these are just so unique but also so user-friendly in a way. Like I feel like the way that these have been curated makes it really easy to do looks with them because they just kind of make sense. You know, sometimes you get a palette in your hands and you open it and you're like, I don't know what to do with this. Like those shimmers don't go with these mattes and I don't know what to pair together. But I feel like with these palettes, whoever made these color stories is someone that actually does their own makeup. Like, does that make sense? Like, I just feel like these are easy to use palettes with really fun color stories and they are just beautiful. And you saw the swatches of this. I'll show you the other one as well. This is the Merry Christmas palette. I love that they're like, so this is, here's a Christmas collection. Like, this is Christmas. I love that. I'm a big fan of Christmas. It's my favorite holiday. So the Christmas palette is so beautiful as well. Oh my god, the combinations of the greens and the warm tones and the shimmers and just everything about this palette, so stunning. Like I said in the beginning, I really wish I had time to do more with these because they are stunning and I know I could do so many beautiful looks and I'm just not going to have time. But we're going to combine these in a look in this video, so that is basically what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Just a couple of details about the launch though. It does launch on the 18th, which should be the day after I put this up, hopefully, at 9 a.m. PST. I will have the information linked down below in my description box and their website and everything. I do have a code with Odens, it's just Annette and I will save you 10%. It is an affiliated code, just so you know. Thank you so much if you do use my codes. What else? These retail for $44, but that is probably because there are some very special shades in here. There is a multi-chrome in each palette, and they're just beautiful. Like, I feel like the price is warranted after having used these just twice now, but I'm very familiar with Odens' formula because, I mean, I did a collab with them last year, and I have everything that they have ever come out with. So I'm very comfortable using their formula, and I'm, so far, from the experience that I've had with these palettes, this is the same good formula that I'm used to from Odens. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of dig in. I'm gonna prime my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. I'm gonna try to keep this video kind of short because man, do I have a lot to do today because we're actually leaving for Canada on Wednesday because we're going to one of my husband's friend's weddings. So I'll be gone for probably like 5 days. I think we get back on Sunday. So obviously I'm not going to have any time to film while we're gone. And this is probably going to be the only video that's going to go up before I'm leaving because I simply just don't have time to do anything else. And I was so busy this weekend as well. I was playing in a Scrabble tournament here in Vegas that I briefly think I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned it in a video or on my community tab or something like that, but yeah, I barely recovered to be able to play in the tournament. So I was happy I was able to play, but I'm still, you can probably tell I'm still not sounding like 100%, like my throat is still a little bit sore, but I feel fine and I'm testing negative now, so that's good. But yeah, I've been busy and sick, so I haven't had time to do much YouTube, which is so sad because I've had so many fun things come in and it makes me sad to not be able to play with all of these things. But obviously when you're sick, the last thing you want to do is put on makeup. So I'm happy to be feeling better again. Now, I have both of these palettes in front of me and I'm like, oh my god, I want to use every single shade. So that's going to be pretty tough. I do want to do some kind of a cohesive-ish look. I do have somewhere to go tonight, so yeah, let's see what I can come up with. Also, if you're wondering about my pony today, this is a new one that I got. It's the Miya pony from INH. This is so beautiful. It took me such a long time to like want to try their longer ones because I felt like they would be just too heavy. But looking on their website, I realized that honestly, they're about the same weight as some of the shorter ones that I have. So it really just depends on the style. Like this one is really, really lightweight, even if it looks like it's really thick, and it's so beautiful. I just love how long it is. Like it just makes me feel so pretty, and I just want to pet my hair all day. Let me know if you've picked up any of the ponies since I started using them, because I've gotten quite a few questions about them because, I mean, obviously they look great, so I'm not surprised at all. Let's see. I'm kind of thinking I want to do a bit of a winged out shape today. I mean, no one's surprised because I love doing that, but I just feel like it's going to be kind of fun and I'll be able to use a lot of shades that way. So I'm going to start with this red because I'm curious and I want to see just how red this is. I want to see if it's actually a red matte. So I'm going to take that on a very, very small, just angled kind of brow brush, and I'm going to use that to create my wing shape. So I'm just going to actually start this. Usually I will start it just where my lower lash line is going up, but I'm going to pull it out a little bit because I do want to have something underneath my eye. So I want to make sure that when I do that, I'll kind of have a little bit of room to sort of blend underneath, if that makes any sense. So I'm just stamping this, and then I'm going to use this to create the wing shape. And using brushes like these to do looks like this actually makes it a lot easier. I'm just going to connect that ever so slightly to my lid. And I think I want to have another shade under my eye, but honestly this is looking so red on the eyes. Like I'm already kind of loving this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect that to the top of the hood of my eye. If you don't have hooded eyes, you can probably just do like a normal whatever wing shape works for you, but this is definitely what works for me. So it's gonna look a little something like this, kind of like a floating triangle, but don't worry, it's gonna come together. I'm gonna try to do the same on the other eye. So something like this. I'm gonna switch to a small little pencil brush here. This one is from Morphe. It's the M149, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in basically where it is that I put down this shape. So I keep looking at these and I'm like, I don't really have any shades I can kind of go in my crease to go with this, except for the shade here called Gingerbread, which I have used already. So I kind of want to do something maybe a little weird. Not really sure how this look is going to turn out. Like I said, I do have somewhere to go tonight, so maybe this is a bad idea, but I'm going to take the shade here called Christmas Tree, and I'm going to take that underneath my eye. I'm going to use one shimmer on my lid, and then I'm going to use a matte to kind of just do like a bit of a graphic line in my crease. I know I've done this shape before, but I really thought it looked fun. So I'm just going to do my lower lash line first. Like I said, I'm going to use the shade right here. So I'm just going to basically smoke that out underneath my eye and also blend it a little bit into that red shade, but I don't want to overblend them because obviously these are not going to blend like super well together. But I do want them to kind of just touch each other, if that makes sense. So I've had a little bit of fallout with the red shade, which is usually to be expected when I like to use a very, very small angle brush to do my winged out look. Sometimes I do get a little bit of fallout when I do that just because the brush is so small and I tend to pick up a little bit too much with it. And you see now what I mean about pulling the red shade out a little bit so that the line kind of continues from where the bottom side of my eyeshadow underneath my eye is. I feel like that just makes it look a little bit more, I don't know, it just comes together a bit more. And I know this is looking crazy, don't worry, it's gonna come together. I'm just blending a little bit with a clean brush here just to get the edges nice and buffed out. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take a very, very tiny pencil brush. This is the 23 from Rephr, and I'm going to use the shade Christmas Eve, which is from the Christmas Eve palette. It's a very, very dark, kind of midnight blue shade, and I really hope this is going to turn out good, but trust the process. That is what I always tell myself, and it usually comes together in the end. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure I don't have any creases. Not that I'm going to put on my lid shades yet, but I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to use this to create, can you see anything, sort of a graphic liner, just kind of following my crease here. I do want this to be high enough up that I can still put a shimmer underneath it. And I'm just kind of following the shape of my own crease, just taking it slow. This is a good way to practice doing like graphic liner stuff, is to use eyeshadows, because when you're using a graphic liner, it's tough to really control it. Like, I don't want this line to get too out of hand, but I do want it to be quite visible, and I want it to be like thicker on the bottom portion, and I kind of fade out. Not taking it all the way out to meet up with the red, just about here. I want to say that these are somewhat even. I don't think I want to fuss with it anymore. And then we're going to do, I think, 2 shimmers on my lid. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a bit more of the red shade, and I got to be really careful here because this will transfer up into my crease if I look up at all now. So I'm just going to do a little bit onto my lid so that I have something to layer the shimmers over the top of. I'm doing this in a bit of a diagonal, making sure I'm not looking up, like I said, because I don't want this to transfer up like into this area, which will happen if I'm not careful. And the first shade I'm going to use is the shade called Fealting Time. I'm not sure what fealting is supposed to mean. I have no idea, but it's a beautiful kind of golden bronzy shade. I'm going to spray this a little bit here, and I'm going to put that in the middle of my lid and then blend it into the red shade. And then for the front portion, I'm going to use one of those sort of more iridescent toppery kind of shades, and I think it's going to look really, really nice. And for that shade, I'm going to take the shade called Snowman, which this one is so beautiful. I just cannot wait to put this on my eyes. And I'm just going to put that in the front portion here. Oh my god, that is so stunning. Oh man, okay. See how that kind of layers over the blue? Oh, I love that shade. And I'm going to layer this over the gold a little bit as well, just because I love the sort of wet looking finish that this gives. And it's also not going to change up the color of the gold completely either, because it does have that sheer quality to it. Okay, how fun is this? It's definitely not what most people would consider a wearable look, but do I care? Absolutely not. I'm also going to take the shade here called Jingle Bells, which is this one, and I'm going to put that on the front portion of my lower lash line. This is sort of the same formula, but this is more of a green shade, and I think layering that with the green that I have under my eye is just going to look amazing. Yeah, I really like this. I think this is so fun. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with the look. I'm probably gonna do some lashes with this, but I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like in the end. Actually, I'm gonna put on one of these lashes from Unearthly. I did make an order myself, and I'm gonna use these called Dreamlike. I've seen so many people use these, and they look beautiful on everybody, so I'm gonna put these on, and we're gonna see what the final look ends up looking like, and I'll show you the other 2 looks that I've done as well. And here is the final look. I think the lashes are beautiful. I almost wish I chose some that were a little bit more dramatic for this look, because I feel like the look is like very out there, but I still think they're very beautiful, kind of wispy lashes. My application isn't the absolute best. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not perfect, but I really like the lashes. I just need to kind of wear them in a little bit, but let me go ahead and show you the other 2 looks that I've done with these palettes while I sort of give you my review on these, even though I've only used them, twice or 3 times, however you want to say it. I've done 3 looks with them, but I do feel like I said in the beginning of the video, I have a good idea of how these palettes perform. I'm very familiar with the Odens size formula in general, and I think that this is the formula that I'm used to. I think the mattes are absolutely incredible. They are perfect in every way. They're super pigmented, easy to work with, very buildable. They do exactly what it is that I want my mattes to do, and I haven't had any problems with any of them whatsoever. The only thing that I will say is that some of these shimmers are very, very creamy, and if you do have hooded eyes like myself, they can tend to crease a little bit, but it's not so bad that you can't just like tap over it with your finger a couple of times during the day if it gets really bad. But some of the super creamy ones did crease a little bit on me, but again, it's something that I'm used to, and it's not something that super bothers me unless they like wear off, which I don't feel like these do. They just kind of crease a little bit, which is totally fine, and it doesn't even go for all of them, just like the super creamy ones. Another thing that I have also noticed with Odens Eyes dark shimmers, and this isn't just this brand, but in general, very, very dark shimmers do tend to cause some fallout during the day for me. I don't know why that is or why it's only like very dark shimmers, but I did have that experience with the ones that I did use in this palette, and it's a little bit annoying, so I try not to use too much of the very dark shimmers personally, because I do feel like they tend to want to end up on my cheeks instead, which isn't ideal, so I try to just use them a little bit on like the outer portion of my lid, and that's pretty much it. But other than that, I've had no issues at all with these, and I think that they are so beautiful and so well curated, such fun color stories. I love that this is a holiday collection and that Odens Eye decided to go in this direction and not do like, you know, like Halloween or fall like all of the other brands are doing. I feel like not enough brands focus on Christmas in particular, so these are going to be limited edition palettes. I feel like that's a given just because it is a Christmas collection, but I thought I would mention it still. So if you do want to pick it up, they're probably not going to be around forever, but I would imagine they'll probably be around until after Christmas time, like just after Christmas or something like that. But yeah, I'm so excited to have these in my collection. I really, really, really wish that I had time to do more looks with these and show you guys, but I just don't, and I'm sad about it, but that's reality, that's life, that's what happens when you get COVID. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will link some other videos down below that I've seen from my creator friends that have also featured this collection if you want to get more inspiration and see what other people think about these palettes as well, just because I don't feel like this is really, I mean, it is a review, but I could have done more if I had time, and I would have done more if I had time. So go ahead and check out their videos as well if you want more about this collection. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you want to see some more Odens Eye content, I of course have a playlist. I'll put that right there. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you whenever I get back in my next video. Bye.